And thank you guys once again for holding on to us during that very brief intermission. Now, we're going to have the last game of the day for the NACE Starleague final showdown qualifiers. Finally got it right that time. So, once again, we've seen the boys so far have two back-to-back 2-0s, and honestly, very dominating fashion. They've looked pretty much flawless the entire run so far, but now, gonna ramp up the competition one more level. Gonna be playing against the Akron Zips, and Akron team we're familiar with. Really good Rocket League team. We've seen them in a lot of other titles. They've been pretty prominent in the scene, so definitely gonna be a step up, but I think the boys are ready.
For sure. Akron is certainly gonna be the toughest competition they're gonna be facing today. And, you know, we did talk to Redx over the break. We had an interview with him, and he told us that, you know, no matter who they're going up against, they're just gonna come out, play their best.
No trolling.
Play the strategies, exactly. No trolling. Even if he didn't get that much sleep last night, no trolling. And they're gonna put their best foot forward no matter what. So we are gonna be heading into map 1 here. It's gonna be Lijiang once again. Yeah. And you know, I think if you're Saints, you're very happy to go back to Lijiang. You've had 2 games in a row of just complete dominance on Lijiang, so you're very much warmed up. You know exactly what you want to be doing here, and I think it's going to be very, very favorable for Saints here.
Yeah, now we're going to see Akron, we're going to see Eric, Iggy, going to be, it looks like Tosmino, it'll be Nylon, it'll be Pixel Star, and then it'll be Seal, and then obviously St. Clair, it'll be the same team. And just as I said, that little bit of a pump fake, so lobby, a little bit of a break. Hasn't happened yet all day today, so you know what? Not the end of the world, but say we just got a little sneak peek there into Lijiang. I think we really got a chance to see the hero selections there, but just as you said, if the Saints can like put together another game like they did on Lijiang earlier, because honestly, their Lijiang, it was pretty good in map 1 or game 1. It got really, really, really good, like damn oppressive in game 2. So now they have to try to, you know, build the momentum, keep it going here, and now, say as we said, game 3 against Akron, going to be a lot higher competition. This game will be, I suspect, a lot closer. I wouldn't like this game. I would expect to be the 2-1 of the day. The other ones, you could feasibly see a sweep happening. I definitely expect Akron to take one of these games, though.
For sure, it's Akron taking a map, definitely within the realm of possibility. But you know, if you're Saints, you're going to be doing everything in your power to keep that from happening. Yeah. They're going to be looking to finish off the day with a perfect 6-0, right? So they're going to be going into this, and they're not going to want to drop a map. Now we are heading back in the game here. We just had a little bit of an issue with the settings there the first time around.
I like how fast Overwatch fixes. COD is like a whole PC restart. Overwatch, you just click join again and you're back in.
Yeah. So jumping back in, and you know, really no major surprises coming out here from either team really. Akron, they're going to be going with that Sig Ryan. How they're going to have a Cassidy rather than like the Junkrat that we normally see. Oh, and we just have one more pause coming in, as once again we have a couple settings issues, but that's okay. You know, we'll throw it back to lobby and we'll get those fixed up real nice and quick. We should be heading back in any second. But, you know, it does look like it's going to be somewhat of a mirror match with a little bit of a divide here between the two DPS. Yeah. This is going to be interesting because this is kind of like stylistic differences, right? Like, do you want to run that Junkrat that has very high, like, burst damage, a lot of, like, area of effect damage, or do you want to run that Cassidy, you know, who can deal a ton of damage if you're hitting those headshots? You have the utility in the form of the flashbang, so it'll be interesting to see which side is going to come out on top. Of course, a large part of it is going to come down to, like, you know, like which team is playing better and which team can like kind of play around the style that they want to try and run.
One thing I will note, it does look like we actually do have a map 1 switch, so we're not going to be on Lijiang. Oh no, actually we are going to, so it's still cycling through the lobbies here, so they're going to keep pump faking us as many times as possible until we finally see some bullets firing off. So we are going to stay in Lijiang Tower.
Player run lobbies at its finest.
We had to go for a little sightseeing, a little Overwatch World Tour, you know, get some beautiful shots of Nepal, you know, go to Numbani, get a couple of shots, but no. We are going to be in Lijiang.
Broadcast couldn't see any of them, but they look great. They look great, trust us.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So we are going to be back in Lijiang, and just as you said, the stylistic matchups is the really, really interesting thing. It's like, because you can play kind of the same comp with, these slight wrinkles. Do you go with the Cassidy and have, the crazy damage with the hit scanner? You go with that. We saw the Junkrat for the Saints last time was invaluable.
Emran had a lights out performance there in the Junkrat the first time around. So we'll have to see if he can continue it. Now, it does look like our settings issues may finally be fixed, so we should be getting back in the map here in just a little bit. So
I'm almost scared to say anything until I see someone fire off a gun or use a TP. I'm almost scared to say anything.
At this point, it's kind of like, you know, we've been baited. You know, fool me once. Shame on me, or shame on you, but fool me twice at that, like,
Fool me 3 times, I'm taking the headset off and I'm peacing out. But finally, looks like we are going to finally get under game, hopefully. We have heroes, we have people walking around in the spawn, so hopefully, finally, now we can see the comps, we can finally get under game here.
And now, now there has been a little bit of change, no longer on control center, so everything that we just talked, potentially forget about it.
Or
we'll have to see if we end up, we'll have to see if we end up getting back to control center, but we're going to be starting here over on Night Market this time around. Now, Akron, they're going to be coming with a very interesting comp. comp. They have the Doomfist, the Reinhardt, and the Monkey. So double main tank with the Doomfist. Very much a press W comp. This is something that we saw Saints trying once upon a time. Didn't work great for them. We'll see if it works better for Akron. St. Clair, they're going to be sticking with the classic brawl. Right away, the Immortality Field goes down, gets picked up by Emran. Now Crime and Emran, so much damage coming from the side of them. They're able to do so much, and Akron just gets completely dismantled.
Yeah, just again, the Saints just showing such a good job. Already say, Emran getting involved on 5 kills already. Gonna shoot off this TP as well before anyone can get up to it. Gonna take it out there, and the Saints, once again, even though Akron has that W key comp, the Saints, they do not give an inch when they get in these engagements and these skirmishes, and so far, holding the line strong, and obviously first team fight of the game doesn't mean everything, but really, really strong start, and you'd love to see it so far.
Yeah, Akron's comp there, it's really good at taking space, but if the Saints, when what we saw happen was the Saints already had control of that space, it was very difficult. A Shatter comes out from Squeak, doesn't find anything.
Early.
Bit of an interesting strategy, but that's okay. Now Akron are going to be pushing in. The Monkey dives in deep, seeing if he can find anything. Oh, Iggy actually finds a flash hammer onto Emran there. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out from the side of Akron, but the wall did go up from Emran before he got taken out, so we'll see if St. Clair's able to play around this. Prime manages to take out 2. Both DPS now from the side of Akron are going to be down. Kyun still alive on that point, seeing if he can break this Reinhardt shield, pressures him down, and the flashbang coming out is just enough to help him get that kill. Now he can chase him down the BAP, and a beautiful hold from St. Clair. You see Eric on the Monkey, tries to contest his point, but it's going to be a lost cause.
And Hyun doing such a great job, just face check 3 members of Akron back to back to back solo, and ended up taking out all 3 of them, taking out a tank and support, and I think one of the DPS as well. So even though we saw Iggy popping off there on the Cassidy, getting a couple kills there, St. Clair, just like they did before, they find the answers, they recover, they regain, they set up again, and they get ready for it. And just now, once again, already 65%. Demon Bomb is going to come through, not going to find anything though. Eric is going to try to find some damage here on the Monkey, is going to pop the ultimate. Primal Rage is online, going to try to find, going to actually knock off Emran off the map, so maybe they can find something. Going to get a Deadeye kill as well as Iggy, and Nylon finds one. So Akron finally going to break through this hold of the Saints, and they should be able to take the point.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Akron there. They were forced to use 3 ults to St. Clair's 2, but you know, St. Clair, I think they're not going to be too disappointed with that if you're them, because you're going to have that Deadeye, you're going to have a Shatter, and Arjun getting very close to that window as well. We can see already so much damage coming in. You force the Monkey bubble, Reinhardt shield's getting very low, and you're going to be taking a lot of space here, forcing the team to all the way back, and someone from Akron has actually been isolated here. It's Iggy, he gets taken out, and Prime finds another one onto Nylon. No DPS from the side of Akron. Ooh, Prime gets taken out by Tozmino. That's going to be nice. Going here into a 4v5 now. Ooh, a nice read from Squeak. Blocks that Shatter, which came around from the back, and now he's going to have Shatter of his own. Lays it down, finds the slam, and now St. Clair, they're just going to be looking to try and clean this up. Hyun isolates Eric, pushes him into that corner, she completely beats him up, and the sim wall from Emran is just a little bit of extra insurance. St. Clair, once again, solidly in control at this point.
Yeah, once again, they get it. They drop a couple of members, they fall back on that back foot, but St. Clair just finds some way to regain. Hyun finding the solo kill. Red X finding the Lucio kill, that 1v1, and now St. Clair doing what they did best
big
earlier.
Aggression here.
Pushing into the spawn, hitting that W key. They know they're at 90%. If they can stop Akron's push one, or say only one more time, they will end up walking away with this first round. It looks like that will be the case. They are finding these kills left and right. Iggy able to find a pick there. Got to try to find a way to get to the point, though. They're going to try to set up the teleporter, but not enough in time. St. Clair takes round 1 in a very, very chaotic fashion.
Yeah, really nice stuff there from St. Clair. And Akron, unfortunately, fell kind of victim to their own comp there. Like, you know, that double main tank, we've talked about it so many times before, but you just lose out on so much like the utility. Like, yeah, the Reinhardt and the Monkey, they're really good at going in, getting that cleave damage. They can definitely, like, they're really quick, they can take a lot of space, but if St. Clair already hold that space, you're just kind of pushing into them with nothing other than, like, your own health bar.
And once those shields go down, you've got nothing.
Yeah,
like, nothing.
You're
left.
relying entirely on, like, you know, your large health pool in order to get you, and you're basically saying, okay, I'm going to go and stand in the center of them, and I'm hoping that I live long enough for something to happen. If something doesn't happen, that's it, right? Now, back to Control Center. This is what we talked about prior to the night market there, and it is going to be the matchup that we talked about, the Cassidy versus the Junkrat. Yep. And right away, we see Emran already putting down a lot of damage. Both lamps forced out here. Hyun is going to go on a little bit of rotation to force away Iggy, not letting him take that off angle. And now St. Clair, looks like they are pretty solidly in control here. They've taken the point, and we see Akron, they're going to try and go through a rotation through this white room here, see if they can take that side angle. But so much damage coming in from that Sigma, from that Junkrat. It's going to force them all back. Prime does manage to pick out Tosmino, and Squeak takes out Iggy. And now it's just going to be the rest of Akron falling quickly. The rest of the Saints are going to push up, not even going to let them get back to their spawn once again. And a really beautiful opening fight from St. Clair. Crime and Arjun both have ults up already.
Wow, and yeah, just as Red X said to us in that little interview before the break there, you can tell they're feeling huge play by Emran. Gonna find two ultimately, gonna find Iggy and Nylon, taking out both of the DPS, and just like that, St. Clair, they're gonna hold this spawn for just a bit longer, and St. Clair, once they win that opening engagement and they get that pressure and they smell blood in the water, they are attacking and they are in full-on go mode, and so far, it is working out beautifully for them.
Emran just dipped both DPS without even having them be on his screen. Now Hyun went for the Gravitic Flux around the side of the map, didn't find any picks off it, but forced out a lot of ults, and the rest of St. Clair, they're going to push up on the back of it, look for the follow-up, and it's going to work out beautifully. Akron just not ready for that level of aggression. Those ults used so early, and St. Clair able to hold on to this no problem, and they only had to use 3 ults for that, with 3 ults still online. Meanwhile, Akron, they only have 2 up, so they're going to have to see what they can be done here. Maybe go for a rotation around that side angle there. It looks like they're going to push using the Deadeye. A quick speed comes out from Redx, letting St. Clair kind of disengage. It looks like Iggy knows that Emran's here. And he actually is able to take out that tire. Nice stuff from him. Now Squeak has the shatter online, but Arjun finds 2 picks, takes out Seal and Pixel Star, and now the rest of Saints, they're going to walk up, they're going to take out Iggy, and once again, Akron forced back to spawn.
Yeah, just great job by St. Clair. Arjun and Red X there. Squeak got down to like 75 HP, gets that huge health buffer, like 250 plus HP at the end there. Keep him alive, keep him available to frontline. Emran, once again, an absolute pest on this Junkrat, just will not go away. Constant damage coming in. Akron walking in, always at half health, and St. Clair stacking a couple ultimates here. Crime was going to online.
Again.
Massive play. Emran has been absolutely shutting down the side of Akron. This guy's Junkrat has been an absolute thorn in the side of everybody today, and so far St. Clair, look at this, waiting for members of the enemy team to spawn because they're clearing it out so quickly, and 95%, this game's all but over.
Pretty much, yeah. You could see Akron, they had the Gravitic Flux there. Emran once again finds a pick, and Akron, they weren't even able to get through the choke. That was all St. Clair. Dominant performances like that are few and far between. Like, Emran, Hyun are able to deal so much damage using their orbs, and of course Squeak is able to just be such a stalwart figure there in that choke point, in that doorway, right? We see right here, he just runs forward, slams his hammer into them, and just completely deletes them from the game. And unfortunately, Akron, they just weren't able to find anything. Even when using ults, they just weren't able to find picks.
And that's the problem. They couldn't find anything is like almost an understatement. Even because St. Clair pressured them, and that's a good thing with St. Clair. They put that front-facing pressure on, and then Akron's almost forced to try to make like a hero play with the ults, and you're not going to get the true value you want out of it, especially when you're sitting back in spawn, having to burn 2-3 ultimates just to get to the point. And then by the time you break through the front line, the Saints are either on respawn, Emran's been chunking you with the Junkrat the entire time, and you're just kind of running out of options at that point, and St. Clair just looked like they had a read for every single thing there, and honestly, just once again, flawless.
Even the ults from St. Clair that seem like they don't get value, like Emran's Riptire there, which ended up getting destroyed. Akron actually used the sound barrier in order to try and push through that choke, and they were able to get some good distance there. They got all the way in, but the threat of the tire was enough to kind of make them hesitant. They kind of waited. They kind of looked for the tire to come out, and so by the time they did end up destroying the tire. They took so long, and they ended up halting their movement. So by the time they actually wanted to fight, that sound barrier is gone. You're going in with nothing, and from there, Saints just ended up beating them in the neutral.
Yeah, fear is the ultimate motivator, and you can clearly see when the Saints have the advantage, they are trying to put pressure on, and they really as Redx said earlier, as I mentioned before, they definitely like the confidence. They are feeling themselves today. You can very well see, and we actually are going to go over to Kings Row, or as we saw before, Saints Row. So I wonder if we're going to see a similar kind of result we saw with, I believe it was Boston or it was Ashton or University.
Yeah, Ashland. They picked the Kings Row. They were feeling confident with the brawl. But, you know, we saw how well that ended for Ashland. We'll see if it ends any better for Akron here.
Yeah, and for the Saints, that's like, they know, like, they're going to be feeling really good going into this match, I have to imagine. They're comfortable on this map. They played phenomenally on Lijiang. Now they have that one-game lead, so even if, obviously, they're going to try to go for the 2-0, you want to go golden on the day, you want to get the full sweep, but they do have a map to play with now, so I don't suspect they'll go with any crazy adaptations or any crazy ideas. They're just going to play, I think, probably standard brawler dive. They're going to do what they've been doing well the entire time, which is just playing a good, safe, clean game the entire day.
Yep, for sure. And now, this is something I've been saying every single game so far, but it really seems like these teams are picking things that very much favor St. Clair. Like St. Clair, on Lijiang, we ended up seeing both brawl maps. Night Market was brawl, Control Center was brawl. Both times, St. Clair looked dominant.
100-0.
So to have, once again, St. Clair's opposition be like, you know what I think would be good for us here? A brawl map. It really does make me question it, but, you know, maybe we'll see. Like, we did see Ashlyn perform a little bit better.
Yeah, we saw, like, and that's the thing, at least we saw. Iggy had a lot of bright spots as the Cassidy last game on the
Iggy
DPS,
was able to find some good picks.
There's a couple spots where maybe Akron had some ability to make some plays, but unfortunately, just they weren't able to get that full team effort. You never felt like they had that true, like, when St. Clair walked up when the game started, you could feel like the team presence. Everybody was like working off everyone. Akron, it was just like, we're kind of scattered. We kind of sent like Iggy to kind of go try to make a couple plays for us, get these picks, try to even things out. But St. Clair, the consistency of just working together, timing those ultimates, even like you said, if you're not finding kills, but you're striking fear and finding value in other ways with the ulties, it's almost just as good. And now we're going to go back to King's Row and see if the Saints can try to close up the day 2-0. Iggy is going to miss a little grapple jump there, so just going to switch over to the Cassidy. Actually go back to the Widow,
he's reset the cooldown, go for it again.
But at this point, St. Clair, they've already retreated pretty far away. So, the nice Maywall comes out there from the side of Akron. It does actually push Squeak very far forward. He gets very low, but some nice healing comes in from Arjun, keeps him up, and is able to keep Saints pretty stable at the moment. Now, Akron, they're going to try and make the most of this. They're still on that Widowmaker. We'll see how that ends up working out for them. Gun does get frozen, but still not taken out. So much healing coming out from the side of St. Clair. Now, Crime going around the statue, taking a bit of an off angle here. Iggy still, does find a pick onto Red X. That's what they were looking for. That's why you run the Widowmaker, right? You know, you played the long game, and it did maybe end up paying off. But unfortunately, Akron, they're still down that Diva Mech, so they're not going to be able to push play as much as they would want to. And now the window comes out from Arjun. Shatter comes out there from Seal and does find a few, but is it going to be enough? St. Clair are actually managing to trade this out. Fire Strike coming in through the window of Arjun. Squeak finds Tosmino, but Eric is able to trade out on the Prime. Gun finds Seal. Squeak finds Pixel Star. And St. Clair, despite a little bit of a shaky fight there, they are coming out on top.
Yeah, and that was a great shatter by Squeak. Ends up knocking 2 members over. Hyun was stuck on the other side of the Maywall. Very low HP. D-Mech with Squeak landing a huge shatter, finding those 2 kills, and now Saints able to fight back on the point, clear it off, and now Iggy still in the Widowmaker, actually is finally gets over to the Cassidy now, so now he's going to try to get his hands dirty, get in those trenches, and stop going for those long range.
Now we do see that Nylon does have a mail online here, and this is going to be what Akron is going to look to use in order to break open this point. It's going to be on Hyun to see if he can try and eat this, or maybe force it out in some way, but right away we see a big split coming out here from Akron. They're going to be kind of going wherever, and the mail doesn't really find much of anything. Now St. Clair, they're able to just kind of, you know, back away, find picks. Seal goes down, and Arjun is both lamps get traded out. The Diva Bomb does come out, but it's not going to be enough. Hyun finds another pick. Cosmino going down. Eric getting D-Mech now as well. And yeah, unfortunately, Akron not able to find anything, even though they had a really good opportunity to.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think you keyed on earlier. That May ulti, now I think they still on the May. The May ulti is honestly kind of like the linchpin win condition for this team. They have to get everybody in the small area. They have to just lock it all down and find a way to clear out those tanks, clear out Hyun, knock out Squeak, and now look at St. Clair again though. A lot of ultimates about to be in the back pocket. Shatter only 10% away. Akron only sitting on the Lucio ult and decently far off of the other one. So St. Clair definitely going to be favored in this next fight, but Akron has to kind of show it. Look,
Squeak!
Huge Shatter going to find 2, and Akron once again going to be stumped trying to push on. And St. Clair just finding every way to get it done. Hyun finds a pick. Going to take out some Mewtwo. He's going to find a second one onto Iggy. Squeak, the tanks are putting in work for St. Clair, and Akron has no answer thus far.
And I absolutely love what I saw happen there. Akron tried to go for a quick rotation through Hotel. St. Clair recognized this, and rather than meeting them at the far side, they actually rotated behind them, which allowed Squeak to get a shatter from behind. No one was expecting it, and using that epicenter damage, found 2 quick picks. Iggy swapped back to the Widow, and now back on the Cassidy. He really seems like he's just like, it does look like desperation swaps here, just trying to find something. Now, once again, we see a similar rotation coming around. The ult coming from behind. Oh, but he finds Iggy. He knew exactly where he was going. Seal did manage to find a pick onto Red X with that shatter, but is it going to be enough? Squeak charges in, finds the pin. Oh, but does get taken out. Tosmino is able to trade. Now, this is Akron's best chance. They have a number advantage. They have a spawn advantage. We'll see if they can make anything happen here. St. Clair College, they do have that beat if Red X can get back in time, but Hyun does get D-Mech. The beat does come out, not quite in time to save Hyun. Akron still have a chance here, but Crime is able to take out Nylon, but does get taken out by Pixel Star. Hyun gets taken out by Seal, and now Akron, they looking like they're going to be able to capture this point. Red X is seeing if he can deal a little bit of damage. Emran does find a pick, but Seal and Eric are there on the front line. They're chasing everyone down, and Akron looks like they finally are able to make it happen. They're finally able to take out St. Clair.
Yeah, and that was a great job. We saw the 2-man tank game for the Saints going extreme well, the Diva Reinhardt, and then Akron answering with the same combo of their own. Now they get the Shatter online. Diva Bomb is online. Saints, no ultimates quite yet. The wall is going to be up. Some Shatter is going to come through. Hyun going to get shattered, but Seal's going to fall in the process, so maybe he got a little antsy there thinking maybe I could have got 3 or 4, but the Immortality field up. There wasn't a whole lot he was going to get out of that. And now the Shatter gone, and now the Saints, they're more than happy to just play this time, because even though Akron got that first point, it took over 2.5 minutes, I believe, to get that first objective. And now St. Clair, Clock definitely still their friend.
Oh no, what have I just seen? Iggy and Pixel Star want on a crazy flank. See if they could find the Flash Hammer. And this game is just evolving into a bit of a chaos here. You have people fighting in Subway. Meanwhile, there's still a little bit of a skirmish going on Cart. Prime and Emerin are going to see if they can take out the main. Eventually, though, at the end of it all, it is going to be St. Clair coming out on top. It was a very interesting strat from Akron, you know, sending your Lucio and your Cassidy over on that flank, but unfortunately just didn't quite end up finding what they wanted, and they got taken out so quickly because they put themselves into such isolated territory behind enemy lines like that. It's a risky play. It can sometimes pay off. Didn't quite this time, and we're back to neutral territory here. Deadeye coming out there from Iggy isn't quite able to find anything. The mail from Emerin, it also just kind of forces Akron back, but now Redix is able to take out Eric while he was trying to get that reach for the Demon Bomb. And now the Deadeye from Prime is able to just clean them up. Emerin takes out Seal, and we actually do see someone still moving the payload here, getting a little bit of Kurt space, but it's not going to matter much because St. Clair, they rush right back, and they take out Iggy.
And they have just done such a good job. When these ultimates are ready for the Saints, even if they're only finding 1 or 2 kills with the Deadeye, Nylon actually going to find the kill on Emerin, so a little May on May crime there, but now St. Clair going to be playing a little bit on the back foot. They can play a little bit patient here. They still have a lot of time. The clock is definitely their friend. Akron still has a ways to go as well, and St. Clair just trying to play on this payload, trying to hold this last push here. Eric going to try to get some damage in here. Ryan going to
there's the May ulti.
Yeah, May ulti is going to come through. Not sure how much it's exactly going to find. Squeak is going to have to get backed off. St. Clair Maywall is going to come through. Eric going to dive on top. Finds a kill on Redx, so one of the supports down for the Saints. Maybe Akron can make a little bit of move here, but they haven't found any picks just quite yet. Still trying to move on this payload. Is contested, but also, as we've been talking, only 30 seconds left, so the Saints have been doing a great job just stalling out at the very worst right now.
Yeah, and you know, Hyun was able to eat that mail there coming out from Nylon, which was a really beautiful play. That's exactly what you run that Diva for, but unfortunately at the end of it, Akron was able to just continue finding picks. They had to commit a lot. They used the beat, they used the window, they used the shatter. A lot of ults had to be used there from Akron to secure that, but they did end up getting it on the end. Now St. Clair coming back, they're going to have a ton of ults for their own, so we'll have to see if Akron can find some way to weather the storm that is approaching.
Akron's
got
to get this time bonus too.
Very low, but stayed alive and got the mail off. The end of the window came out. Deadeye as well. Shatter coming out from Squeak is going to find exactly what he needs to find. And now St. Clair, it does look like they're going to be able to make a good hold here. Really nice stuff from both teams. Akron was able to, you know, they got that cap, which is honestly the first .8 cap we've seen all day. So respect to Akron, but in the end, St. Clair are able to hold it just before that second checkpoint.
Yeah, and that second point, that's like the hardest spot to get that last push through, and we saw Akron they got stonewalled right at the end. They did such a good job. They were trying to get that time bonus to the contest so they could at least have maybe 2 to 3 more cracks at getting those ultimates online, trying to set something up, but St. Clair, once again, just everything is so well timed. There's no panic in them. Even when they're getting pushed back really, really hard, they know, okay, clock is our friend, objective is our friend. We're waiting on a couple ultimates. We can just sit back, play patient. If nobody gets picked, they're confident in winning these 6v6s, and so far, I like those odds to take that every time.
And, you know, I've got to give a big shout out to Hyun real quick, because his play there of eating the mail really kind of shifted the entire ult economy. Eating that mail forced Akron to commit way more ults than they wanted to. They ended up having to use 4 ults to win that fight, whereas St. Clair, they didn't really need to use any. They were okay with just losing that fight because they came back, then they had 4 ults of their own, and from there, they were just able to get that hold there on second really, really easily. And that was all off the back of Hyun eating that mail. So really huge props to him for having that awareness and being able to pull that off that eat. That really just kind of set the tempo from there. Even though it was like that one fight got lost, it was, you know, lose the battle, win the war, right? And that's exactly what we saw there. Now Akron are going to be on the defense here. Mirror comps coming out from both sides. So
I want to see Iggy just try to maybe stick to one hero as for a more length of time, because it seems like Akron is maybe not like panic picking, but they're trying to do too much and trying to like try to cover too much at once. Just stick to one hero, try to lock it down, make a couple plays, get an ultimate off, and then maybe assess a switch depending on what happens. But I think they're just getting a little bit too out of their game, a little too early in some of these fights. I think it's just hunker down, be patient, and let another fight or two play out before they immediately go to a switch.
Now we see a hotel rotation coming in here from the side of St. Clair. Ooh, a nice wall to isolate Seal. The pin comes out, takes him very, very low, forces the lamp. However, Iggy is able to take out Emerin. Really nice stuff. Ooh, Iggy with a second pick as well, able to take out Prime. Both DPS from St. Clair down now. Redx is able to take out Iggy, get a little bit of revenge for his friends there, but it's not going to be quite enough as Akron are going to be able to hold solidly. Redix actually is able to get a D-Mech. Wow, Redix is a menace over here. Finds a pick as well as a D-Mech. And, you know, despite St. Clair losing that, D-Mech is going to be really huge for the next upcoming push here.
Yeah, really good job by Akron so far. Just really good job just holding serve here. Exactly doing what they're supposed to on the defensive end. Hold that first push. Don't let St. Clair get any early pressure, because when St. Clair has had the early pressure, they have completely snowballed the game almost immediately. So Akron, very good adjustment, very good adaptation. Shatter is going to come through, going to find a little bit of value, going to try to get those hits. Immortality Field is down. Saints are going to find picks off the back of it, though. Squeak's going to find 2. And now St. Clair, once again, just as I said, they're going to have full advantage here, and they're damn near going to clear this point, and they should be able to take these ticks.
Yeah, St. Clair, they knew that the D-Mech was down, and as soon as they had all 6 members, they just ran forward, and they were able to make the most of that opportunity. The Shatter did come out there from the side of Akron, but unfortunately only found 1 person, and a quick Immortality Field from Arjun meant that there was really no way to get a kill off the back of it. Squeak there with shield as well, kept them alive, and now St. Clair have a really big ult advantage. They only needed a window to cap that first point. Now, Akron, they do have some good ults of their own. They have that mail. So once again, you're going to be looking over at Hyun to see if you need that, as well as Eric to see if he can maybe take care of Emeren's mail as well.
And the Saints just have so much time to play with now. Even though they lost the first fight, they got right back on there. Like you said, use the wall, regain mail. It's going to come through. Saints, once again, finding picks left and right. Everyone's going to find 2. Takes out both the supports, so Akron's backline completely shattered. Diva's going to fall. A team kill for the Saints. They will wipe Akron off of the point, and they will get a lot of payload progress. And Akron going to be playing on their back foot here. They are running out of options to stop St. Clair. They only need 50 more meters to close this game out.
Iggy actually went all the way to the attacker's spawn to look for a Deadeye from behind, but Hyun had that awareness. He immediately peeled back and just ended up shredding Iggy. So it was just a really nice fight from St. Clair there. Now they're going to have both tank ults as well as the beat, and the window just about to come online here. Akron, they need to see if they can find a pick. Maybe use that window. Maybe see if they can find something with that Diva Bomb. However, an early Diva Bomb from Hyun is coming out first. Seal gets demolished there. The Maywall doing a perfect job of isolating him, and the beat coming out from Meadows just to make sure everyone's going to stay up. You can see Hyun, he's pushing all the way forward, and Akron, it looks like they know what's to come.
Over. Yeah. It's all over. The fat lady is getting her vocal cords ready. It looks like St. Clair is going to get this final push, and just like that, a little bit of a stumble early in the round. They finally drop one of the points, but they bounce back in dramatic fashion and do such a good job to clean up Akron, and they will move on to 6-0 total on the day. Just an absolutely phenomenal job by the Saints. Every single member got his name called today, made a huge play, got play of the game, and Ember in this game obviously just locking it down on the May, taking out both supports and kind of just starting the snowball there for the Saints to win that game.
For sure, yeah. Emeren, he's just been on fire today, from the Junkrat to the May to everything in between.
Versatility too, yeah.
He's been showing so much flexibility, and he's been doing such a great job. And you know, you really just you gotta when the whole team is firing on all cylinders like that, it is very, very hard for Akron to really get much of anything done, right? But in the end, it is going to be a 6-0, which means St. Clair, they're going to be coming back tomorrow, I believe, in order to finish off the rest of their matches. But with a performance like this, the first day, it's, it really does bode well for tomorrow. Like, Akron, this was their hardest opponent so far. And the closest St. Clair got to losing was they lost point A. Yeah. That was it.
And again, what we saw, the Saints, they kind of got taken to what we consider would be maybe their #1 map choice. And even though Akron definitely showed they had some good strategy and they had a couple good plays for that, but St. Clair once again just ultimately showing that brawl and dive comp is not to be messed with right now. And any other teams that are looking out, maybe this is something you want to avoid from St. Clair moving forward, because right now, the way they played today, they just got better and better and better as the day went on. And they say Akron, that's a solid team. And they're able to close them out like that. So obviously Akron, they took point A. Like, if you're the Saints, okay, oh well, but just a great job by every single member to work off of each other, work together so well. And honestly, the consistency was the best part. They didn't really have a round where they stumbled or got out of themselves. They always looked like they would lose a fight, they just regained, they refocused, and they would just get ready to go again.
And even on the fights they were losing, they still found ways to get value. Like that first point fight there where St. Clair, they all pretty much nearly got team wiped, but Redix was able to stay alive and find a couple last minute picks, which it set them up so well for the next fight to come. It when you have situations like that where you're able to just pull value out of seemingly nowhere, that's the kind of stuff that lets you win games in these you know, these situations where it's neck and neck, stuff like that, that's the difference maker. And St. Clair, they just showed that they had the difference maker in spades today.
Yeah, we saw so many times it was either a 5-3 or a 6-4, and like in Overwatch, that's almost a death sentence. Like unless something goes really, really wrong or you make some kind of insane heroic play, usually the other team's going to come out on top, but they just found ways to dig deep, find those 1 or 2 picks, try to even things out, try to even the score up, and then eventually go back to that 6 stack on each other and just do such a good job. And it just felt like they had an answer for every single thing every team tried today. And honestly, that's exactly what you want going forward. You don't have to play too outside of your game. They came in, they played clean, they played consistent, and honestly, could look forward to going on tomorrow now.
Absolutely. Winning 3 games in a row without dropping a map, barely dropping a point.
Yeah.
Like St. Clair, our Saints are going to be very, very happy with their performance, and I'm sure they're going to be feeling very confident going into tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that'll be all for today. We had lots of Overwatch action. Say we had 3 games. Saints do finish 6-0 on the day in the NACE Final Showdown qualifier. They will move on to play tomorrow and try to finish off this bracket. And then I think they're going away to HughFest next weekend. So this is a great little tune-up before they go over to LAN. Try to make some waves over there as well. So the Overwatch team, a lot of good stuff going on. They've been so strong the last couple of weeks, and hopefully they can continue the momentum moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much all for watching. This was an absolutely great match to watch, especially if you're a fan of the Saints.
Yeah.
Seeing them win like this, it's always going to be a good day, right? So, we hope to see you all back tomorrow so we can see the Saints continue their performance here in the NACE qualifiers. And any final words from you?
No, honestly, just such a good job from the boys all day today. And honestly, just Championship Sunday. Got to look forward, got to move forward, put these games behind you, and just get back in the lab and be ready.
Absolutely. So, we'll make sure we see you all here tomorrow for more games with NACE. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Great for them. We'll see if it works better for Akron. St. Clair, they're going to be sticking with the classic brawl. Right away, the Immortality field goes down, gets picked up by Emran. Now Crime and Emran, so much damage coming from the side of them. They're able to do so much, and Akron just cuts completely manages to take out 2. Both DPS now from the side of Akron are going to be down. Kuhn still alive on that point. Seeing if he can break this Reinhardt shield, pressures him down, and the flashbang coming out is just enough to help him get that kill. Now he chases down the BAP, and a beautiful hold from St. Clair now. Ooh, a nice read from Squeak. Blocks that Shatter, which came around from the back, and now he's going to have Shatter of his own. Lays it down, finds the slam, and now St. Clair, they're just going to be looking to try and clean this up. Gun isolates Eric, pushes him into that corner, just completely beats him up, and the wall
left and right. Iggy able to find a pick there. Got to try to find a way to get to the point, though. They're going to try to set up the teleporter, but not enough in time. St. Clair takes round 1 in a very, very chaotic fashion.
Yeah, really nice stuff there from St. Clair. And Akron, unfortunately, fell kind of that side angle. So much damage coming in from that Sigma, from that Junkrat. It's going to force them all back. Prime does manage to pick up Tosmino, and Squeak takes out Iggy, and now it's just going to be the rest of Akron falling quickly. The rest of the Saints are going to push up, not even going to let them get back to their spawn. And again, both have ults up already.
Wow, and yeah, just as Red X said to us in that little interview before the break there, you can tell they're feeling huge play by Emran, gonna find 2 ultimately, gonna find Iggy and Nylon, taking out both of the DPS, and just like
pretty much, yeah, you could see Akron, they had the Riveted Flux there. Emran once again finds the pick, and Akron, they weren't even able to get through the choke. That was all St. Clair. Dominant performances like that in that choke point, in that doorway, right? We see right here, he just runs forward, slams his hammer into them, just completely deletes them from the game. And unfortunately, Akron, they just weren't able to find anything. Even when using ults, they just weren't able to find hits. From Iggy isn't quite able to find anything. The mail from Emran also just kind of forces Akron back, but now Redix is able to take out Eric while he was trying to get that return deep bomb. And now the Deadeye from Prime is able to just completely up. Emran,
very good adjustment, very good adaptation. Shatter is going to come through, going to find a little bit of value, going to try to get those hits. Immortality field is down. Saints are going to find picks off the back of it, though. Squeak's going to find 2. And now St. Clair, once again, just as I said, they're going to have full advantage here, and they're going to clear this point, and they should be able to take these ticks.
First, Seal gets demolished there. The Maywall is doing a perfect job of isolating him. Beat coming off the fence just to make sure the one can stay up. You can see Hyun, he's pushing all the way forward, and Akron, it looks like they know what's to come.
Yeah. It's all over. The fat lady is name called today, made a huge play, got play of the game, and Ember in this game obviously just locking it down on the May, taking out both supports and kind of just starting the snowball there for the Saints to win that game.
For sure, yeah. Emran, he's just been on fire today, from the Junkrat to the May to everything in between.
Versatility too, yeah.
Welcome back, Saints. We are here once again with another interview from the Overwatch team. This time we got Crime here. Overwatch team now coming hot off of their third 2-0 of the day here, just absolutely sweeping through this bracket to start. How are you guys feeling after that one? I'm sure spirits must be running high with the team.
Yeah, everyone was happy. Everyone's going crazy over the 3 wins, but it's not over yet because we still have more games tomorrow.
For sure, for sure. Now, Akron, they did seem to, be a little bit tougher than the rest of the schools that we faced. So, like, in fact, they were pretty much the only team that ended up actually taking a point off you. So, did they feel more challenging, or was it just kind of like, the fact that they were maybe were running a few more traditional comps that let them kind of close that gap, or what was it?
Their play style, but besides that, we should have never gave up a point. But
Confident with the full hold, I like it.
Confident. Yeah, for sure. You definitely gotta be confident coming into those games. I know you said you weren't looking to drop a point, but how are you guys gonna readjust coming into some of these harder teams tomorrow?
Tomorrow, potentially, we're gonna be versing our toughest match, and we definitely have to keep our head high. I know we just won 3 in a row, 3 series in a row, but since it's single elimination, 1 loss and we're out.
For sure, yeah. Now, going into tomorrow, it does look like you guys are going to be playing against Boise. Boise historically have had a very good team. Is there anyone in particular that you're going to be looking out for? Anything that you have to specifically plan against coming into that match against them?
I think Boise is really good, but we could definitely take them on if we play our cards right. I don't think it's anything we should we should worry about them, but it's not something that's undefeatable.
Plan, but don't stress. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Definitely a good way to go into it. And now there is one thing I wanted to ask, because in that game that we just saw against Akron, it did seem like on the side of Akron, Iggy was doing a lot of work. Now, how did you feel about that, having to take that Cassidy matchup? Did he feel like he was giving you any trouble, or were you in control the whole time?
We definitely weren't ready for his play style. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was definitely
it was creative, right?
Yeah, and we just the way we stopped it is as soon as we see him, we just we'd mark him and just send Hune after him, and then he's just rendered useless for the whole fight. But then technically he takes our diva out the fight, so it's in reality it's kind of a better trade for them because they take our diva out the fight, but he doesn't keep diva out long enough, and then she just comes back, and then we win the fight.
For sure. It definitely seemed like you were getting the better end of the stick when it came to those matchups today, especially when it came to those dead eyes. You were doing a great job zoning. When you're using those dead eyes, is it kind of spur of the moment, or are you using them as kind of a big opener, really putting a lot of planning into it?
Well, pre-fight we actually plan it, and then we really want to use Deadeye to take space and make them waste cooldowns. To be honest, the kills are just an extra bonus, but we never intend on killing people with the high noon. We just want to take space and make them burn cooldowns and even break shields.
Absolutely. Well, do you have any final thoughts about the matches today? Anything you want to say before you go into the games tomorrow?
It was really fun. I'm happy with the outcome. I'm proud of my team, and hopefully we can continue tomorrow.
For sure. Anything from you, Fundy, before we head out?
Honestly, just great to see everyone in high spirits, super confident going into Sunday as well. Can't wait to come back here tomorrow and broadcast that for all of you as well. So should be a great playoffs that we get to see.
Absolutely. So once again, Crime, thank you so much for being here. Absolutely amazing performance in the games today, and we hope to see you on fire once again tomorrow for sure.
Thank you for having me.